We mwega mwiroreri na muthikiriria wa Walking with God is Easy. Hamarito njitagwo Albert Wanjohi. Ndi muhonoku, Jesu Kristo ni mwathani. And I am a spiritual man. I am a spiritual man. Mbere tuingirite kiugo-ini kia Ngai muthenya wa umuthi, no nyende kumwira Ngai niekite undu wa kugegania na undu mwega. Niekite maundu maingi, no one of them ni ati kwina kairitu ga kuria kundu gwitagwo Imara Daima in Nairobi. Karakoragwo na thina, garakorwo ni karare maratathi, gatirenda kuria irio karare maratathi, na gakorwo karanyua lotion ya kwihaka, body lotion, na gakaria maguta ma kwihaka. Na muthenya ndathire kou muthenya wa Thursday, so kunina Friday on Saturday, ndahurwo thimu ni nyina anjira kuma ndauma kuu gatirare maratathi na gatiranyua lotion, na nionete a very great change. Na ni mundu aragithiete kundu kuingi, we niwe andu mathiaga ku magietha uteithio, ndigutina ngiteterithia, no ni athiete kundu kuingi agietha uteithio, agakihoerwo, agekirwo maundu maingi na nothing was happening. But we thank God ati kairitu kau ni kega na ni karari cover. Kwena another testimony, but I would like to tweterere mwene abe aume nayo, tondu some of the testimonies ni nyendaga andu makauma nacio leo ene nigetha tukiruta wira wa Ngai uria wagiriire. We do the work of God the way it is supposed to be done. Tondu this is not about a man, this is about God. It's not about a human being, it's about God. Purely about God. So all the glory goes to God, and that is how it is. All the glory goes back to God. If it doesn't glorify God, then no need. So today, ndrenda twaria uhoro wa things. Ndrenda twaria uhoro wa touching the heart of God. Touching the heart of God. Touching the heart of God. Kwena maundu ungika uhutie ngoro ya Ngai. Can God be touched in his heart? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Tutari turaingira thiini wa maundu maria ungika tombe turekana Ngai ngoro yake no ihutio ni mundu kwi undu angika uhutie Ngai, kana kwi undu mundu angika uhutie Ngai. That is in Genesis chapter 8. Genesis chapter 8, verse 21. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake. Ati Ngai akigua muruke mwega, akiuga na ngoro yake. Koguo ni kumaanisha ni ahutirio ngoro yake. You can touch God's heart. There are some things that can happen that can touch the heart of God. Koguo muthenya wa muthenya ndrenda turore uhoro ucio wa touching the heart of God. Touching the heart of God. Na no nyenda twambe turore maundu maria matangihutia ngoro ya Ngai. Maundu maria matangihutia ngoro ya Ngai that cannot move God. The things that don't move God. The things that can't move God. Onongetidoge kama maundu maya, you will never ever move God. Things that don't move God. Number one is what we call self-righteousness. Self-righteousness doesn't move God. Isaiah 64. Isaiah 64 verse 6. But we are as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities like the weed have taken us away. Self-righteousness is like filthy rags. Isaiah 64. Let us ekatorora na gikuyu. Isaiah 64 verse 6. Where okaga Sorry. Verse 6 eroga ithuothe tutuikite ta mundu uri na thahu na ciiko ciothe cia uthingu witu ihana ta ndangari ire magigi. Ithuothe tohohaga tukahana ta ithangu na momehia maitu magato huruta o ta uria ruhuho ruhurutaga maragara. Ithuothe tutuikite ta mundu uri na thahu na cio ciiko ciothe cia uthingu witu ihana ta ndangari ire magigi. Our righteousness are as filthy rags before God. Our righteousness is like filthy rags before God. Koguo gutiri undu ungika uthingu waku we mwenyewe utinge gutaithia mbere ya Ngai. You cannot present yourself before God and say niye ne hingurete children's homes na ndinoga kuhingura children's home ni oru. Ndungigathiriria na maundu mari oreka we mwenyewe mbere ya Ngai. No Ngai we mwenyewe angegutua muthingu. But you cannot make yourself righteous by counting yourself righteous unless God himself makes you righteous. So our righteousness cannot move God. It can't. Kugaga nie ne nduta mehothi ne njikaga atia ne njakite kanitha ne ngorete ngari ya pastor kana ya bishop ne nianga njikite atia. That is self-righteousness. Cannot move God. Number 2, we have self-exaltation. Self-exaltation. Let us look at Luke chapter 18. Torore Luka 18. Luke chapter 18 verse 9 to 14. Irauga, and he spoke this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not as the other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. I fast twice the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other, for everyone that exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Good. Ekatothamena gikuyu tondu turari na gikuyu aha. That is self-exaltation. Luke 18. Luke chapter 18. Verse 9 to 14 says, Ninge Jesu akiariria andu amwe aria mehokaga o ene magetuaga athingu na makahuthagia andu aria angi othe akimahe ngerekano akimera atiri andu eri ni mambatire hekaru-ini kuhoya umwe ari mufarisai no ucio ungi ari mwitia wa mbeca cia igoti. Mufarisai ucio akirugama akihoera we mwenyewe kana we mwene akiuga atiri Ngai ni ndagucokeria ngatho ni gukorwo ndihana ta andu aria angi aria atunyani na aria mekaga uru na itharia ona kana ta mwitia uyu wa mbia cia igoti. Ni ndihingaga kuria o maita meri o kiumia na ngaruta gicunji gia 10 kia indo ciothe iria nyonaga. No riri mwitia wa mbeca cia igoti ucio akirugama o haraya na ndaigana gutira maitho make na iguru no ni kwigutha eguthaga githuri enyihitie akoiga atiri Ngai njiguira tha nie mundu mwihia ngumwira atiri mwitia mbeca cia igoti ni ainukire atueto muthingu mbere ya Ngai gukira ucio ungi ni gukorwo uria wothe witugagiria ni anyihagio na uria wothe winyihagia ni atugagirio. Self exaltation ni gwitugiria ati we ukauga nie ndihana tang'ania nie ndihana taria ti wega gwitugiria. Ungitugiria kana winenehie ndungihutia ngoro ya Ngai undu ucio utinge move Ngai utingituma Ngai eke undu waku mwega. Self exaltation does not move God. Koguo no nginya ukorwo ukimenya ni atia wagonu gwika na ni atia utagonu gwika tondu ungitugiria ungigana ungiona we mwega gukira andu aria angi undu ucio ni utumaga Ngai akwihugurire arore kundu kungi. In fact, you should not compare yourself with others. Ona Ngai angikuhuthira akuhuthira na ciama akuhuthira na kuringa ciama na kuhonia andu na maundu gwikika manene akuhuthira na kurota kiroto na gikahanika agakwariria na njira ciake iria arageria andu nacio ndubatie kwiyambararia undu ucio ni utumaga Ngai aigue atari mukenu. Self-exaltation does not move God to do good things to you. It only makes him look away from you. Self-exaltation is not good. Self-exaltation does not move God. Na hena handu hangi ndenda turore mwiroreri tondu ni njui no konho wihocetie. There is something else that does not move God. And I'm not a controversial preacher. Prayer and fasting. Prayer and fasting does not move God. Tondu kwi andu aingi muno moragira hau. Somebody is praying and fasting and nothing is happening. Why? Because prayer and fasting is supposed to humble you, not to move God. Andu mangiakuriho mbeca ciao no meka kindu gitagwo hunger strike mathii obici cia thirikari kana cia mundu uri agete kumariha maikare hau matekuria kana matekunyua nginya mundu ucio amake one andu atamegukwira aha amanengere. But not with God. Not with God. Prayer and fasting does not move God. And I'm telling you this categorically, without an iota of contradiction, without any kind of fear of contradiction. Prayer and fasting does not move God. If prayer and fasting moves God, he could have been moved by those people in Shakahola. Adramale Shakahola. Maga kule idio na maga konywa ni mangea movire Ngai okay na araikake. Prayer and fasting does not move God. Prayer and fasting is supposed to humble the physical body, to humble you and erute mundu waku wana theine. It's supposed to uplift your spirit man, not to move God. Tiko makia Ngai kana ko kumuhahora. So don't think that because you have prayed and fasted for 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, angemaugaga marahoya 40 days. Ndanasemania na andu mandikite handu ati they have been prayer and fasting for a whole year. I also don't know how that one is possible, but these people are not even truthful. Tondu uria andu amekaga mahoyaga ugakora mundu ringi araria utuku muthenya nirio atararia. That's just self deception. Ati ukuga hoeta thiku 30 na warora mundu uyu anakura usiku, anakura jioni, kana mundu arathia ngadi na thiku cigana na akamba akaria agacoka akuga no arathi na mbere na fasting. What is fasting? You need to understand what fasting is. Fasting is not a competition. Prayer and fasting is not a competition. Nigetha wahoya muno na fast muno utaburo ne andu na wetigiro ne andu. In fact, prayer and fasting is sacred. Supposed to be sacred. You should not tell people how you pray and fast. Don't. Na niye de thini wa thamaki wa Ngai. I'm not outside. I pray and fast, but I will never tell you how I pray and fast. Tarona ginya hujia ge makera shirika. I will be fasting for 30 days. Come and bring your petitions here. Ukorehe mabataro maku na uke na ngiri kana uke na pesa cigana nigetha ndathikire maine riu kwari na Ngai ngaguthaithania. That's just drama. Prayer and fasting does not move God. And I'm telling you again and again. Prayer and fasting should humble you. Nigetha unyihe mbere ya Ngai makiria. No mwitigire makiria. No ti kumuhahura. Ndungihahura Ngai na prayer and fasting. Hawezi. Watu wangeenda hunger strike na mpaka Mungu afanye venye wanataka. Prayer and fasting does not move God. Prayer and fasting is supposed to humble you. If it is not humbling you, then you are on the wrong foot. Let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 8. Deuteronomy 8. Deuteronomy chapter 8. Nigetha tuhote kurora hau ha prayer and fasting. I want to get a context for you here. Verse 2 to 3. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or not. Verse 3. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger. He humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Wacha tusome kwa Kikuyu hapa. That is Deuteronomy gucokerithia Maathani 8 verse 2 to 3. Inasema hivi. Ririkanai ule Jehova Ngai wanyu amutongoririe njira-ini yothe kuu werũ-ini miaka iyo 40 akienda mwenyihie. Twari horo wa kwenyihia haha. Akienda mwenyihie na amugerie mwenyihie na amugerie niguo amenye maundu maria mari ngoro-ini cianyu, kana hihi ne muka menyagirira maathani make kana aca. Verse 3. Niatumire mwenyihie na akireka muhute. Oh yes. Hao no ngwendaga wigue. Niatumire mwenyihie na akireka muhute. So kuhuta, that is hunger. Kubatie gukunyihia we. Not kuhahura Ngai kana kumumakia. You should not pray and fast to shock God. No. You should pray and fast to humble, more humble, to become more humble. Kogo ndagiro kuganira mundu at any time how many days you have fasted. That is wrong. That is wrong. Because fasting and praying is humbleness. It is something to humble you more. Na mundu mwenyihia ndagiro no gukoro agitia. You cannot be humble and proud at the same time. You can't. You can't be humble and proud at the same time. Koguo Ngai atumire mahote nigetha menyihie. So prayer and fasting should be to humble your spirit, to shape you to be more and more like a vessel of honor before God. but not to brag to people. Kuhendra wa hoya. Wehingete kore irio. Ona doagono kore ka mundu amenye ni wehingete kore irio. Unless it's a very, very close family members. That should know. But not your friends, not your cousins, not your other people. Because it's a time of humility. It's a time of humility. If you see a proud person who prays and fasts, the fasting of that person is useless. Na mundu ucio ndakoragwo na any kind of results. Hapati results. Kikuta mtu ambaye anafunga, anaomba na kufunga, na anatangazia watu wengine, mimi nafunga siku 7, mimi nafunga siku 3, mimi nafunga siku 21, mimi nafunga siku 30, mimi nafunga siku 40, mimi nafunga mwaka mzima, mimi sijui nafunga miaka ngapi. That person is not going anywhere. Na ukiangalia watu wa aina hiyo hawana majibu ya maombi, because if you pray and fast, you are humble, just like Moses was. If you pray and fast, you are humble, just like Jesus was humble. Jesus was humble, and he used to pray and fast. So prayer and fasting by itself is not the one moving God. It is the heart that is humble, a contrite spirit thou wilt not despise. A contrite spirit thou wilt not despise. A contrite spirit. Very nice. So, lutogoka tuone things that move God. Things that move God. Touching the heart of God. Touching the heart of God. Kuna dongeka mwiroreli ngayahutio. Tondu no wikire mundu undu nage kuhutio. Some people are hardened. Makoragwo mahanoro kana keriganitheria gatua na ndena igua na ndena menya ni atia wa mwikira. But when you do these things before God, you touch the heart of God. And ndenda gukonia maundu 3. Maundu mathatu. 3 things that touch the heart of God. 3 things. Nitapata kuonia maundu mara matange hutia ngai. That is self-righteousness. That is self-exaltation. And that is prayer and fasting by itself. Prayer and fasting is very, very good. Very, very powerful. Very, very good. But when done wrongly, it might end up being something else. Tonwana ginya hena mundu waheanaga mbeca cia tithe, which is biblical. Hena mundu wa prayaga and fast. Na kera ngai nie I prayed fast. But still he was not receiving any grace from God. I do pray and fast, but I cannot tell you how I do pray and fast. I can't, because simasidano ma kuhoya. After all, ne hinya muno ngai akuhuthire angondo na ga time ya kuhoya wega. It might not be easy. You must be having time to pray, and also fasting, which I cannot tell you how I pray and fast. Although it's not about me, it's not about myself, it's not about an individual, it's about the kingdom. It's about the kingdom of God, not about a single human person. I mean, a single person here. So, when I tell you fasting, prayer and fasting doesn't move God, I'm telling you when I pray and fast. So, do not try to kagaria whether maundu maku how this person doesn't pray and fast. No, I pray and fast, but I don't pray and fast as a way of kustua Mungu, kumakiangaika na kumuhatiriria eka maundu maria atangika when I am not praying and fast. It is to humble your heart, to humble your spirit. When you pray and fast, you humble your spirit, na roho wako gatuika more compatible with the things of the supernatural, in the supernatural realm. But it's not about moving God. So these are the things that move God. Number 1, avoiding sin. When you avoid sin, you move God. When you avoid sin, you you catch the attention of God. Wana wa avoid maundu maria Ngai atendaga. And I'm going to show you from the scriptures here. In the book of Job. In the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1. Very wonderful verse here. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. And there were born and just verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. Verse 8 says, And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and eschewed evil? Ekatorore thiini wa Gikuyu. Gikuyu, that is Job chapter 1 verse 1. Irauga bururi-ini ucio wa Uzu kwari mundu watoire wetagwo Ayubu. Mundu ucio ndari ucuke, ningi ari mundu murungiriru. Nietigirite Ngai na agethemaga maundu maria moru. Koguo Ayubu nietigirite Ngai agethemaga maundu maria moru. Avoiding sin. Now verse 8 irauga ningi Jehova akiuria Saitani atiri, ni ucuranetie uhoro wa ndungata yakwa Ayubu, ukona ati kou thi gutire mundu ungi uhana take, ndari ucuke na ni murungireru, mundu mwitigiri Ngai na uthemaga maundu maria moru. Ucio ni Ngai araruta wira wa Job. Ati Job avoid mehia. Niatuikire mundu wa kumenyeka nginya ni Ngai. Ati this man is a righteous man. Kogo onge avoid mehia tu. By virtue of avoiding sin, you move the heart of God. You touch the heart of God. You draw the attention of God. By virtue of avoiding sin. Kogo no koro kiuria ni kihoyaga mahoya mako matihingaga ndoi. One of them is avoiding sin. Avoiding sin. Avoiding sin touches the heart of God, moves God, puts you in the record of God. Avoiding sin touches the heart of God. Nginya Ngai agikinya handu akirutira Ayubu wira. Akimurutira wira akiuga nuonete mundu wetagwo Ayubu. Araru Saitani. Nuonete mundu wetagwo Njoroge. Nuonete mundu wetagwo Kamau. Nuonete mundu wetagwo Mary. Nuonete mundu wetagwo Susan. Nuonete mundu wetagwo Albert. Ngai akurutira wira uguo. Ni andu igana mangienda kuigua Ngai akimarutira that kind of positive remark. I think we morora no wenda Ngai akurutira wira ucio. Auge nuonete mundu wetagwo Ruth. Mundu mwitigiri Ngai. Nuonete mundu wetagwo Sarah. Mundu mwitigiri Ngai. Nuonete mundu wetagwo John. Mundu mwitigiri Ngai. So it's good to understand Nikeke move Ngai. What moves God? Your interests are not God's interest after all. Your interests are not God's interest. No kororenda kugea gari. No kororenda kugea besha. No kororenda kugea migunda. No kororenda gwika maundu mangi. But that may not be the interest of God. Koguo no, birds of a feather flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. Kwa koro interest cia Ngai iticio interest cia kue. Though no mwage kindu gitagwo common, I don't know what we call it. Unaweza kosa hiyo kwa Mungu. You need to not to have conflict of interest. God looks at righteousness. So if you are righteous, then you attract the attention of God. when you avoid sin, by virtue of avoiding sin peke yake, ugukoro wa pay attention, watu mangaya pay attention on you. You are touching his heart, you are moving his heart. Tore augire, David is a man after God's own heart. Number 2, kwena maundu mathatu mahutagia ngoro ya Ngai muno. Number 2, ni combination ya indo ithatu hamwe. Itago righteousness, prayer and sacrifice. Righteousness, prayer and sacrifice. If you give a sacrifice when you are not prayerful and when you are not righteous, when ni kwana ngora nanga your time. You are wasting your time. If you are righteous and you don't pray and you don't give a sacrifice, then some things will not move in your life. Righteousness, prayer, and sacrifice. Those three things, they move, they touch the heart of God. Let us look at it. Don't confused. Don't be confused and say that I'm trying to najaribu kunandi hapa. Kunandi itikadi zangu hapa. That's Acts chapter 10 verse na tuombe Mungu sana siku moja tuweze kuwa tunaenda live kwa hii channel. Tunaenda live. Watu wanapiga simu ikiwa live. Good. Righteousness, prayer and sacrifice is found in Acts chapter 10 verse 1 to 2. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band. Number 2, a devout man and one that feared God with all his house. That is righteousness. Which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. Which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. So this Cornelius are mundu righteous, are mundu waheanage sacrifice kuri andu akahe andu alms na niahoyaga Ngai muno. Righteousness, prayer and sacrifice. Righteousness, prayer and sacrifice. Righteousness, prayer, a combination. That's a combination. Tore ngioya sai ukoragwo na iria, ukoragwo na shukari, no ukoragwo na majani, na no ukoragwo na mai. That's a combination. No ungioya mai me maika tisai, ungioya iria riki tisai, ungioya shukari we wiki tisai, ungioya shukari na majani hii shere tisai, ungioya mai na iria hii tisai. So it's a combination of righteousness. Live righteously, be prayerful, and be a giver always, not once, but many days. It moves God. Todo we uthingu waku Ngai nĩarawona, kuhoya gwaku ni ura communicate nake. Now when you give, you led to God. You led to God. Ogo wako bithia Ngai na Ngai niwe kuriha. God knows how to pay back. God knows how to. Sio kama binadamu. God knows how to pay back. God knows how to pay back. Tatika tuthome thiini wa Gikuyu haha. Acts chapter 10 in Kikuyu. Atomo ikomi verse where is this? Atomo ikomi verse 1 to 2. Na rĩrĩ, kũu Caesarea nĩ kwarĩ na mũndũ wetagwo Cornelio, ũrĩa warĩ mũnene wa thigari 100 cia mbũtũ iria ĩrĩa yoĩkaine ta mbũtũ ya Italia. Verse 2 ĩkauga, mũndũ ũcio na andũ othe a nyũmba yake nĩ meamũrĩire Ngai na makamwĩtigagĩra. Nake nĩaheanaga indo ciake na ũtana kũrĩ andũ arĩa marĩ abatari na nĩahoyaga Ngai kaingĩ. Koguo arĩ mũthingu na nĩaheanaga indo ciake na nĩahoyaga Ngai kaingĩ. No ndĩrenda gwĩkĩra disclaimer haha, You don't give anywhere and anyhow. You don't give to just any man of God. You don't give just to any kind of beggar. No, he pesa yaku to a beggar. Tadu kwena a lot of beggars nowadays. Wamunengera pesa yaku agathi na your light kana theri waku agakua. Wakora riu we kumagia hau you crumble. Maundu maku mothe maga come tumbling down. Maga kugacira. Tondo nego kuyara kuya. Kwena andu angai ona mo maruga ni angai wamanengera kindu giaku no guthira unaisha. So you have to be led of the Spirit of God on that. Kwa hivyo sijasema ati uchukue pesa yako uanze kupeana. Lazima Mungu akudirect unapeana wapi. So righteousness, prayer and sacrifice touches the heart of God. Oh, sorry. Kwena hado itena thoma verse 4. Acts chapter 10. Verse 4 irauga atiri na githungu. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God. Verse 4 ekoiga Cornelio akimorora aiyuritwo ni guoya akiuria atiri niki mwathani nake muraika akimucokeria atiri mahoya maku na indo iria uhete andu aria athini ni ikinyite iguru kuri ngai rere iruta ria kuririkanwo. Kone kumaanisha wona wikara we muthingu na wona watuika mundu wa kuhoya ngai no coke okoro we mundu uraruta kana uraheane sacrifice. That combination ne kinyagira ngai ikamuhutia. Koguo muraiko arehete message ati undu ucio no tuikite wa kuririkana mbere ya ngai. Koguo ne kumaanisha the heart of God was touched by what Cornelius did. Now, as we are winding up, I want to show you the last, or not the last, but the third one. Becoming an answer to prayer. What we can answer, can I sokyo yamahoya? You touch the heart of God. That is Genesis chapter 12. 12 verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Oh yes, Genesis 12 verse 2. 12 verse 2. Niĩ nĩngatũra nĩngagũtua rũrĩrĩ rũnene na nĩngakũrathima nĩngatũma rĩĩtwa rĩaku rĩgĩe igweta nawe nĩũgatuĩka kĩrathimo. Kwa nĩ kũmaanisha Abraham kana Ibrahimu etetwo nĩ Ngai arathimo atuĩke kĩrathimo. Hĩndĩ ĩrĩa ũngĩkorwo wĩ nduka retail shop andũ marĩũkaga kũgũra harĩa ũrĩ. Hĩndĩ ĩrĩa ũngĩkorwo wĩ wholesaler andũ a nduka retailers marĩũkaga kũgũra indo harĩa ũrĩ. Rĩrĩa ũngĩkorwo wĩ distributor kana manufacturer andũ aingĩ marĩũkaga harĩa ũrĩ. So when you are carrying other people's blessing matingĩenda ũthire tondũ wona wathira matikuona kĩrathimo kĩao. If you are a bulb ũngĩkorwo wĩ globe bulb yo theri na gwaku kũhore kana bulb yo here, it will not affect a lot of people. No ũngĩkorwo wĩ transformer iracanga itũra igima kana the whole town, transformer yo ĩngĩkorwo na ĩhĩte fuse andũ othe mangĩkorwo makĩhũrĩra andũ akwanyua thitima tondũ ndiramenya wĩ bũrũri ũrĩkũ no ngũkwĩre Kenya Power no korwo ndũrĩ Kenya. Andũ a kambuni ya thitima ya kwanyu mangĩkorwo makĩmĩhũrĩra thimũ kana makĩmĩmenyithia yũke ĩthondeke transformer tondũ transformer ĩyo ĩracabu andũ aingĩ. So when you become a blessing now, Ngai ndangĩtĩkĩra ũthire tondũ you are a blessing. Nĩ ũkuĩte kĩrathimo kĩa mũndũ ũngĩ, koguo no nginya ũtuĩke serviced. No angĩkorwo irathimo no ciaku wĩ wiki ona wĩ nacio nobody can feel Mundu no ararire na wina irio. You know, you become like somebody who does not become part of God's program tondu we wale wa huna andu angi megutaithika na andu no ngituika kirathimo kuri andu ari angi gutire hindi Ngai angitikira uhare tondu you are a blessing to his work. Genesis tothoma Genesis na githungu tumithome na gikuyu. That's Genesis chapter 12 verse 2. Irauga nie ninga gutua rurire runene na ninga kurathima ninga tuma ritwa riaku rigie igweta nawe ni ugatuika kirathimo utuika kirathimo wana warathimo ni Ngai, you become a blessing. Genesis chapter 18 now. Turore Genesis chapter 18 ucio ni Ibrahim weraga oguo 18 verse 1 to 5 irauga muthenya umwe Jehova ni umireire Ibrahimu riria aikarite muromo-ini wa hema yake hakuhi na miti iria minene ya migadi ya Mamre ihinda ria miaraho. Ati Jehova ni amumireire. Jehova aumirite ahana atia? Let us look and see. Na riri Ibrahimu atira maitho akiona andu atatu marugamite o hakuhi nake riria amonire akihiuha akiuma muromo-ini wa hema yake agithie kumatunga na agiturumithia uthio wake thi akiuga atiri mwathi wakwa angikorwo ni nditikirika maitho-ini maku ndaguthaitha ndukahituke ndungata yaku reke toi tunini tureho na inyuothe mwithambe maguru na muhuruke kiruru-ini kia muti uyu na nie na thie ndimurehere kindu gia kuria nigetha mucokwo ni hinya kuona ati ni mwagu giuka kwa ndungata yanyu niguo mucoke mwithiire. Makimucokeria atiri ni wega muno ika o uguo woiga. Andu aya mari araika kirikano kiruga Jehova akiumirira Ibrahimu. We Jehova ari akumirira ukareka hituke tondu we agikorwo wetagirira Jehova ahana Ngai we mwenyewe no aha okire tandu na mari araika mahanaga andu. Koguo Abraham agituika kirathimo kuri andu aya tondu mari ahutu. And then andu aya kana araika aya makiririsk kiugo. That's Job chapter. Let's look at Job chapter 29. Ayubu 29 tugithi kurikiriria Job 29 verse 12. Ni undu ninda haturaga aria athini makaya mateithio. Ni undu ninda haturaga aria athini makaya mateithio ona aria matari na maithe magie mundu wa kumateithia. Sorry. Ni undu ninda haturaga aria athini makaya mateithio ona aria matari na maithe magite mundu wa kumateithia. Magite mundu wa kumateithia. Ayubu ni ahaturaga andu aria makayaga na aria matari na maithe agatuika ithe wao. He was a father to the fatherless. We korora hoya Ngai akuhe mbeca no getha tu uhuthire, you might not move God. No gikorwo ni urenda utuika a blessing to the work of God. Andu ingi makomendete muno, especially Christians. Hao ni watu wanajipenda sana. Na nikio rakora a Christians mageka harambee cia gwa kanitha. That's nonsense. I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but I'm a spiritual man. Ungehota weka harambee ya kanitha atia? Andu maroka kanitha-ini nigetha magie mbeca kana magie na breakthrough the grace of having money. Na we ni urahoya andu mbeca. You are the pastor, you are the bishop. Na we ni urahoya andu mbeca, na urahoya nginya andu aria mendagia miraa, aria mendagia njohi, ni urathi kuhoya mbeca cia gwa kanitha. That's awkwardness. I don't know what I can call it. Unaweza jenda kuomba watu pesa ya kujenga kanisa? Kwa nini uombaombe? That is, you are just being a professional beggar. Hata wakati mimi nilikuwa nahubiri kwa kanisa, sikuwa naomba, sijawahi tengeneza kadi ya kuchangisha pesa mimi. I don't. Sichangishi pesa. Sijawahi changisha pesa ya kanisa. You just give out of your own volition and you are going to be blessed. You just give out of your own volition. 29 verse 12 in English. Because I delivered the poor that cried and the fatherless and him that had none to help him. Koguo Ayubu mbeca ciake kana irio ciake kana indo ciake ato kugetha irio we wagetha gunia cia mbembe we umenyane ciaku na mutumia waku na andu aku na we ndiga koroi ciaku but nobody else we wakama iria yaku ni yako peke yako. But ukitaka Mungu akubariki wenda Ngai akurathime na akwambararie. Be a blessing to others. Wanaambia gutuika kirathimo kuri andu aria angi. You start moving God. You start becoming a person of interest to God. Na Ngai akambia kuona mundu uyu nirabatara kurathimo. Mundu uyu nirabatara ngari. Mundu uyu nirabatara gukorwo na kindu fulani nigetha kimuteithie kuruta wira wake. So that's how God works, and that's how God you move the heart of God, you touch the heart of God by being righteous, living righteously, avoiding sin, combining righteousness, prayer, and sacrifice, and becoming a blessing, an answer to prayer to somebody else. For example, mundu na fare ya kuigana na wingari-ini na mundu ucio nenda kurutwo ni undu wa ciringi 50 kana ciringi 20 ana karibu atolewe kwa gari. Why don't you become a blessing to that person? Why don't you become a blessing to that person? An answer to prayer. Why don't you become an answer to prayer to that person? Now, lastly, they get out when you become an answer to prayer to people. Kogo muroreri wana watu ikakirathimo kuri andu aria angi, don't shout. Tukirikia and ndenda gukuwish all God's blessings upon your life. May the Lord God bless you so much and do you good. No nguhoe uhote gutuika wa gusubscribe na gushare na kulike nigetha wana to upload video njeru igaukinyagira na ihenya na nginya hindi tukona na ringi Ngai wa moyo akurathime na gwike wega.